Welcome to today's course. Our aim is to understand the duties and responsibilities of the Board of Directors. This workshop includes video recordings always available online for studying at different times of the day and at your own pace, self-study material for revision and preparation online through our platform or to be printed for offline studying, and in the end, test questions for self-assessment at key points through the workshop for you to identify any areas that may require a revisit. Through this workshop, you will understand the duties and responsibilities of the Board of Directors of an investment firm. You will further gain a practical point of view for the suitability assessment of the management body. You will be equipped with knowledge on the latest regulatory developments and also get to practice the acquired knowledge with test questions. Our workshop includes the Board of Directors composition and requirements, the general duties and responsibilities of the directors, differences between the role of executive and non-executive directors, suitability and diversity of the management body, and assessment of the management body, both on an individual level and a collective level. You will have the opportunity to test yourself with test questions in the end of the course and gain a certification of 5 hours of CPDs. Let's begin with the composition and requirements of the Board of Directors. Throughout this section, we will examine the composition of the Board of Directors, the commitment of sufficient time by each director, reputation, honesty, and integrity, as well as independence of mind. We will further examine the collective knowledge, skills, and experience that the Board of Directors shall have. As per the Investment Services and Regulated Markets Law, a Board of Directors is the body of an investment firm, market operator, or data reporting service provider, appointed in accordance with the national law and empowered to set the entity's strategy, objectives, and overall direction. They shall oversee and monitor management decision-making, and it must include persons who can effectively direct the business of the entity. In this section, you will be guided through the general duties and responsibilities of the members of the Board of Directors. We will examine governance arrangements of the management body, what they define, approve, and oversee, their obligations towards the anti-money laundering and countering the terrorism financing framework, what are their obligations for their meetings, the role of the committees, and what are the requirements for significant investment firms. Let's begin with the governance arrangements. The Board of Directors oversees and is responsible for the implementation of the firm's governance arrangements. Such arrangements shall ensure the effective and prudent management of the firm, including segregation of duties and prevention of conflicts of interest. The aim is to promote market integrity and clients' interests. But let's discuss one by one the different governance arrangements that shall be implemented by the board. They shall oversee the implementation of the firm's strategic objectives, risk prevention strategy, and internal governance. They shall ensure the integrity of the accounting and financial reporting systems, including compliance with the applicable reporting standards. And that is the reason why the board shall have a variety of experience, knowledge, and expertise. They shall further oversee the process of disclosure and announcements to the public, providing effective supervision of the senior management, and the chairman of the board shall not exercise simultaneously and in the same firm the functions of the chief executive officer, unless this is approved by the regulator, meaning SAISEC. In this third section, we will examine the duties and responsibilities of executive directors and how they differ from the duties and responsibilities of non-executive directors. We will dive deep in the responsibilities of the management function, of the supervisory function, the obligations of the AML responsible director, and what are the management body's obligations towards the ICARA process. Let's divide our board into the management and supervisory functions. A board of directors, as we said, it's composed of the executive directors, at least two, and the non-executive directors, where at least two independent non-executive directors are appointed, and from there on, we have also the non-executive directors. Then the board is divided into its management function, where we have all the executive directors, all directors having executive responsibilities and duties, and the supervisory function, where we have all the non-executive directors, which are responsible to oversee and challenge the executive directors. Under the management function, we have the 4 I's. The 4 I's are usually composed by the two executive directors of the company, which are the chief executive officer and the general manager. And then under the entire board of directors, we have the committees. The committees can be the risk management committee, the remuneration committee, the product governance committee, the investment committee, or the nomination committee if you are a significant seat. The committees established are always dependable on the services offered, on the investment services offered by the investment firm. But at least the risk management and the remuneration committee, it's a requirement for all investment firms. In this section, we will discuss the suitability and diversity of the management body. We will examine the key suitability factors for the assessment of members of the management body. We will discuss the diversity and governance that shall be exercised by the management body, the suitability and diversity policy that shall be in place by each investment firm, and the training to be offered to new and existing members of the board of directors. What are the suitability factors to be considered for the assessment of board members on an individual basis? Number 1, the authenticity. The member is consistent in word and deed and behaves in accordance with own stated values and beliefs. He openly communicates his intentions, ideas, and feelings, encouraging an environment of openness and honesty. Welcome to the final section of our course. Welcome to a practical aspect for the assessment of the management body. We will examine two subsections. We will examine the individual assessment of a member of the management body and also the collective assessment of the management body. As part of the assessment of the suitability of an individual member of the management body, the company shall gather information on the member's suitability through various channels. The company shall collect the members' diplomas, certificates, recommendation letters, their CV, and interviews and questionnaires. They shall collect information on the reputation, integrity, and honesty, and independence of mind. This can be done by the clean criminal record or the non-bankruptcy certificate. They shall require the assessed individual to verify that the information provided is accurate. They shall require from the member to declare any actual or potential conflicts of interest and validate to the extent possible the correctness of the information provided.